Do you want to perform better at work? My name is Neve from Better Workday, and today I'll be sharing some ways you can improve your performance without working longer hours. Let's start with asking why you want to improve your performance. Is it because you feel you haven't been giving your best lately, or because you want to go to the next level? Regardless of what your reason is, knowing your why is always a really good starting point. There are a number of different ways you can look at your performance, and knowing the why will help you decide which way makes most sense for you. The second thing that you want to do before we dive into anything around improving performance is to get a realistic sense of where you are at right now. And to do this, you are going to need to enlist the help of somebody else. I suggest that you sit down with a manager, a colleague that you can trust, your partner, or a good friend, and talk about your work. Talk about what you've been doing well and where you feel that you're lacking. Talk about where you think your gaps are and why you want to improve. When you talk about this with somebody else, it will give you a better perspective. Sometimes we are hard on ourselves and we might be doing better than we think. And other times we have blind spots that only other people can see from the outside. So spend 30 minutes discussing this with somebody who you know is going to give you honest feedback to help you perform better, and then combine that with your why to figure out the best starting point to improve your performance. Now we're going to dive into 4 different areas, and you are going to begin in the one that makes most sense to you. The first area for performance improvement is role clarity. This is simple, but it is so important. If you aren't clear on what your job is and what your key responsibilities are, there is no way you can improve your performance. You could be busy all day long, crossing things off your to-do list and not adding value where you should be. When it comes to performance, it's all about impact and making sure that you deliver what matters most to your team and to the company as a whole. To check if you are clear about your job, I would like you to write down what it is in one sentence with no jargon, in language that's easy for a 9 or 10-year-old to understand. Struggling to do that? Well, that's a sign that maybe you need to have a conversation around what your key role is. What's the main thing that you are there to do? Now, it goes beyond that, because even if you know very simply what your job is, that doesn't mean that your day-to-day work is also simple. You see, we work on multiple projects with many different teams and often towards common goals. And while that all sounds great, and it is great, it can mean that our tasks are very mixed, and it's sometimes hard to tell which one is more important than the other. They are all very different, so it seems hard to compare them in terms of importance. To help with this, you need to take a step back and understand the impact of the different tasks that you do. What would happen if you didn't do that work? Could somebody else do it? Is there already somebody else doing part of it? Think of the 80-20 rule. If you could only do 20% of your work, what 20% would it be? Another great idea is to write a handover. Imagine you are going to be out of the office for 4 whole weeks and you need to hand over your work to somebody else. There is no way you're going to ask them to do everything. Write down what you would ask them to do, the important stuff, and then take a look at it. That's going to show you what you think is most important. When you have a better understanding of what you think your job is, it's really good to sit down with your manager or somebody you trust at work to get their opinion. I often recommend asking not only your manager, but 4 or 5 people who you work a lot with to tell you what is the one thing that you do that helps them the most. If this doesn't match what you had on your list, then that's an indication that there is misalignment. And once you highlight that, it's easier for everyone to have the conversations and to get back on the same page. When you are clear on your role and the tasks that you can do to add the most value, then that's the work that you are going to focus on improving in terms of your performance. The second thing that you can do to boost your performance at work is to make sure you've got the right support in place. When we think of support at work, we often think of our direct manager or maybe training programs for technical skills. But that's only 2 examples. There is a lot of support available, and probably more than you think. The first step, of course, is always understanding what you need. So I recommend doing a SWOT analysis on yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where are there opportunities in the company for you at the moment to improve your performance? And what are the threats? So what could get in the way of you being successful in doing that. Once you have your SWOT analysis done, make a list of all the different ways that you could benefit from support. This might be technical skills training, it could be general knowledge transfer, it could be mentoring. Think of all of the different ways that you could get help from other people to help you do your best work. And then, where possible, write down the name of somebody that you know that could actually help you in that area. If you're new to a company, this is where your manager or HR could really help. Now, of course, you're not going to ask all of those people for all of that support at the same time. But once you do have your list, what you can do is pick out the 2 or 3 areas that you would benefit most from, go ask for that help, and then use it to do your job better and improve your performance. The third area you can look at improving when it comes to your performance is your own motivation and the amount of effort and attention you put in to your day-to-day tasks. You could be an expert in your field. You could have the best skills on your team, but if you don't want to do the work, it's never going to be great. So we really do need to look at your motivation. Do you enjoy your work? Do you look forward to it every day? Does it excite you or do you dread it? If you are lacking motivation in work and it's impacting your performance, there are a couple of things that you can do just to kickstart that again and to get you back on the right track. The first thing that I recommend doing is starting to work in shorter blocks and writing down your achievements at the end of every block. This is for people who've got a very busy day and are sometimes unsure if they're even achieving anything. Focusing on smaller blocks of time and acknowledging the work that you do get done helps remind you that yes, you are making progress, you are checking things off that list and things are moving forward, even when it doesn't always seem to be the case. You could start a gratitude journal with a difference. Write down 1 to 3 things every day that you're grateful for about your job. This could be as small as being able to use your favourite coffee mug, or it could be a new skill that you're learning because of the job. It could be a particular person you enjoy working with. It could be the font that you use in your reports. Big or small, start focusing more on the things you do like about work. And finally, check to see if you are being challenged in the right way at work. If you are being under-challenged, perhaps you've been in the job a long time or you find it really easy, then it's hard to get motivated to do that work every day. You're not being pushed to develop new skills and there is nothing there for you to figure out or to accomplish in the day. On the other hand, if it is too challenging and you are lacking a wide range of skills and there isn't the support to help you get them, the work can seem so overwhelming that you don't even want to begin. So always check to see that you're being challenged the right amount when it comes to your job. So far, we have talked about role clarity, support, and motivation. The final area that you can look at to improve your performance at work is how you are spending your time and your energy. We all have the same amount of hours in the day, but we definitely don't spend them the same way. And improving your performance does not mean working longer hours or skipping your lunch. On the contrary, it means that you are using your time wisely so that you have time to work and work well, and you also have time to rest and recover and enjoy everything else life has to offer. When you spend your time on the right activities at work and give yourself a chance to recover and rest, you come back every day with new ideas, with a fresh perspective, with the energy to do your work well. So how do you do this? Well, you can start by making sure that your lunch break is locked into your calendar no matter what. You can take a look at your workload and have an honest conversation with your manager around whether things can be realistically done in a regular work week. But the best thing that you can do is to record your time for 5 working days. If you record your time from when you get up in the morning to when you go to bed at night for 5 working days, you will get a clear picture in black and white about how you are spending your time at work and at home. Sit down with a cup of tea or coffee and look back at the time log. Are you spending your time on the things that matter most? What one area can you change to spend your time better? Aim to use 3 hours a week in a better way and you will see your performance improve without any other changes. So that's it. I hope that you find this helpful and you are going to start in one of the 4 different areas to improve your performance. If you are looking for a way to organise and manage your work in a simple way, you can always download the My Desk template. It's completely free, and I'll put the link in the description at the bottom of this video. Until next time, stay well and have a better workday.